So I guess it's still daytime. It's still daytime. The light is still light outside for me. It's 5:02 in the afternoon here in LA. Hello, welcome to daytime today. So I had to come on. I had to come on. I had to come on, you guys. After watching, I caught up on General Hospital, all 3 episodes this week. I haven't watched any soaps at all. I've been so busy. I haven't watched any soaps. Watched all 3 episodes of General Hospital back to back, and I am just daytime today. Of course, I'm sorry that on General Hospital mini spotlight and recap. Last Sunday I couldn't do a show. My power went out, so Frank and I couldn't do a show. But we will be back hopefully this Sunday if everything goes well. I had horrible, horrible Wi-Fi issues. I don't know why. Today is perfect, not a problem. But before it was horrible. So hopefully we'll be back and we'll talk about it. And me and Frank will discuss it, of course, this weekend. But I'm like, we got to talk about Ryan and so I'm going to tell you guys. It's a spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. I want to say that again and again. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoilers, 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 because there are spoilers. Okay, here's the deal. I'm now all caught up, and the way they did it, there's now some good stuff being set up. Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. There's stuff. This is so crazy because you have 2 different things going on right now. You have the Victor Cassadine stuff, which is going to be, which again, we don't know what he's planning. There's something going on over there. Then you have the Ryan Chamberlain stuff. It's like, and these 2, Victor and Ryan, to my knowledge so far, have nothing to do with each other, right? They're separate. To my knowledge, they're separate. Crazy, right? We got Laura, who's like, I don't trust no Victor. Ava, we don't trust Victor. They all don't trust Victor. Then we get the little team over here of Dante, Sam, Drew, Maxie, Brett, all that group with Laura. Not trusting Victor either, but not trusting Ryan. Oh my God. And the way they did it was so good. All of us been waiting for a long time. We've been waiting for this, right? We've been waiting for this. But they almost had me going. So again, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. I'll say it over again. We haven't watched it yet. Okay, you guys, creepy AF. You got it. So I got to give it to you. God, it's like John Lindstrom is so good. He is so good. He is so good as Ryan and Kevin. And when Ryan wouldn't blink for him, I was laughing so hard. He won't blink for me. He was not ready to blink for him. He blinked for Harmony, but he was not blinking for him. I thought it was funny. And we all had a suspect that he's moving his hand. I totally thought that he was coming back. Oh, well, after today's episode, first yesterday, when Esme comes up to him at the very end, and he says, "What the hell are you doing?" He talks. He talks. He talks. He talks. He talks. It's like he's talking. And when she gets on her knees and says, "Daddy," you like when we call you that. I went, wait a minute. Are they in a relationship? I was like, oh, wait, is this one of her like disciples? And I'm like, wait a minute. I started going, I was like, because the way she says like daddy. It was kind of, yeah, daddy. And it was like, oh, okay, that kind of daddy. I was like, all right. I'm like, okay. And then when he, at the end of today's episode, again, spoiler alert, he stands up. And he stands up. He stands up. And he walks over to her, my beautiful, talented daughter. 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 There you go. and you guys are talking to chat room about thinking it's Kevin's. I hope it's not Kevin's daughter. Let's give Ryan a daughter. Like, why not? Let's give her one. And some crazy bitch. It's crazy. But that's like good mother. Who cares? I want it to be his daughter. I don't want it to be Kevin. I don't want to be Kevin's daughter. I hope that twist doesn't happen. I want it to be his daughter. And homegirl who plays Esme is so good. And now, meanwhile, we're pissed at her because it's on Sunday, of course. It's not part of the storyline. But Trina was like, no bitches. Now she's coming for my ass. I got to defend myself. Who you calling dysfunctional, you conniving bitch? Like, that's right. That's right, Trina. You're like, oh, I know you two aren't a problem, but now she's coming for me. And I was like, that's right, girl. You tell her now she's coming for me. So we're already mad at Esme for that. And Esme played that off like crazy. And Ryan's like, hello, I'm tired of your co-ed and your tricks. So she's not into Spencer. So that's kind of funny. So she's not really in it. She's doing this because of Ryan. So all of us suspected from the very beginning, because all of you on the chat room, I'm sure, were just like me going, they're related somehow. We knew something was going on. She was helping Spencer, but she was doing more. Now we see she's because remember, even Spencer's like, why are you talking to Ryan? Because he's a creep. Like, he's creepy. I know you guys all want to not be, you guys are so crazy. I'm like Tony Moore on Distant Days. I with open arms. I'm not going to speculate in the future or try to feel like it's something else. I'm going to go along for the ride. So I'm going to believe that she is Ryan's daughter. And I'm with you, Michelle Buchanan. I think she's older than a teen. Because you know me, I look young for my age too. I was told to look like I was in my 30s. So I was like, oh, thank you. I'm in my 50s. That's another story. But I don't speculate and wonder on stuff. I'm going to stay in the moment, and I'm going to say, whatever it is, I'm going along for the ride. Mm-hmm. I know. I think Barbara F. I think I'm with you. I think he wants her to, because he said we're going back to square one. We're going back to Ava. I think the plan is you seduce Nicholas, get pregnant. I'm time-stamping it. Or fake a pregnancy, one of the two. And that's a bigger presence. Then she really can't leave. Spencer is free to go with Trina. That's inevitable. That's going to totally happen inevitably. Completely, they're in love with each other. And now keep her in the family. That's what they're thinking. And now piss off Ava. But see, I like that Ava and Nicholas are bandits. I mean, they've been sticking together. And like Ava said, I've dealt with people like Victor for a long time. She's a Jerome, bitches. Homegirl is a Jerome. She's not to be played with. It ain't her first time at the rodeo. Not at all. It ain't her first time at the rodeo at all. And that creepy orderly, whatever, he's like, she's smoking hot. And I was like, I'm surprised Ryan didn't do that. When Ryan grabbed Esme that time, and she looked to leave, and he grabbed her and brought her to her knees. And then he kind of got off on it. He's kind of like, okay, I like a little backbone. Okay. I'm like, oh my God, Ryan, you're so creepy. But I am shocked. I'm shocked, but not shocked, right? Because we all figured Ryan would probably, it's been a long time. I mean, think about it for a second. It's been over a year or so since he's been in this condition. And you say he's been sitting here, like an eggplant, sitting there. Oh my God. Yeah, but I'm seeing like new, a lot of people I've never seen before in my chats. It kind of is a no storyline, but using Emma, yes, kind of is. When she said, Ava is not my mother, not my family. Ava is not my family, but she's my family. Yes, finally, good story. Finally. I'm like, okay, I'm in. But see, the whole thing for me is, we'll get off of, okay, you guys think she's whatever. But right now, she's been revealed as Ryan's daughter. But here's my thing. You got Victor over here. You got Victor on this side over here too. Trying to reunite the Cassadines. So there's just that going on also. So it's going to, they're going to kind of collide at some point, right? Because now Ryan and Victor, would they team together, or would they be opposites? That's the weird part too. It's like, when do they collide at some point? Because he has his own agenda right now. And him and Peter, they did not work well together, clearly. And I'll talk, and all those other parts of the storyline will talk on Sunday on the GHB Spotlight here on GLJ Media at 1 p.m. But I'm strictly going with the Ryan Esme thing, but the Victor thing is there also. Victor's trying to keep Spencer and Nicholas together. He's trying to grow the whole family together. Meanwhile, Ryan is trying to get all he cares about is Ava. He don't care about Nicholas. He don't care about the Cassadine family. He wants Ava out of there. And like Esme said, well, you're facing life in prison. So like, what are you gonna do if you get her out of there? He's like, don't worry about that. Leave it up to me. See, that's scary. When he say that, yeah, leave it up to him. Then just step aside. I was like, that. I'm just like, whoo. I know. I'm just telling you. This is so good. This is so good. I'm glad when they go back in time and actually talk about the stuff, because there was something else that another part of storyline that they went back in time, and I was like, let me see. I wrote my notes. What was it? It was something else I wanted to go back in time. I can't. Yeah, I had something else there. I know. Normally, they like this time slot. I was busy today at the Grove in Los Angeles filming video spots for my event with Sean Kanan, speaking of General Hospital, AJ. We have an event coming up in a few days at the Grove Barnes and Noble. So I went to see my poster in person for the first time. My name is on the posters and everything, and went to the place. I did videos on it and the whole thing. So that'll be something that will, if you follow my social media, James Lott Jr, you'll see all that stuff. I post everything on there. So I was doing that today, and I said I'm gonna watch these 3 episodes of General Hospital, and I was like, okay, I gotta talk about it. I can't not. That's what this is about. This is daytime today's chat in the afternoon, and for me, it's still afternoon. 8 p.m. is a little late. I probably won't come on like this late, again, but it's like this is late. Or Esme might see Ava shooting with Uncle Vic, and Esme will comfort Nick. Yes. Okay. See, we all think we're on the same page. It's gonna do something. It's gonna be something like that. Yeah. Well, Candace, that's how Frank Moran feels a lot of times too, right? It's like, okay, so we're hoping, right? So that's what I'm doing. I'm doing moment by moment. I'm just kind of going, okay, we're gonna see what happens. On my moment, and I'm not going to go too far. But there's something in the storyline. I wanted to mention something about the storyline. I was like, they went back in time. Dang it. Oh, the Liz and Finn stuff. Creepy Jake. I miss Creepy Jake. That's another story I would talk about. I would do probably GH Story Deeds on that. I have a show called GH Story Deeds. I'm going to do a show on that. On the ex-Creepy Jake. I miss Creepy Jake. And Liz brought up Cassadine Island. And as you start this again. So that's another thing too. Is the Cassadine Island stuff finally coming to fruition? He was on there for 5 years. They never said anything. So when he came back and when John Doe came back, which was Drew, they came back at the same time. Something with the Cassadine there too. So I hope this is Jake doing it, the stuff to Elizabeth, and it's something from the Cassadine. Maybe Victor has something going on. I mean, I love an umbrella story. I love an umbrella story more than anything. I think it's so much fun to guess and think of what's going on and what's this and what's going on, and it's very interesting. Very interesting. So March 15th. Okay. So I got an email. I'm looking at this email. Okay. Yes, Jake and Drew. Yes, if Jake and Drew on the island, because Liz said, because on soaps, they don't say anything just to say it for shits and giggles. She said, remember he was also on Cassadine. I don't know those years. Like, ooh. They don't just throw like stuff like that out there for no reason. So I'm like, okay, something's going on. Something's going on. And they showed Jake last week. They showed Jake last week with the feathered hair. I was like, very 70s. I loved it. I love the 70s. So I'm like, okay. So I'm like, is that a little, because I mentioned Jake a lot all of a sudden. Because Jake was MIA for a while. Like, where the fuck Jake? And not doing that. And the hot and cold weather. We got that going on too. The hot and cold weather. It was hot a few weeks ago. Remember, now it's freezing again, which actually is normal for the Northeast, right? And the whole Ice Princess thing, and Anna's in Austria, and Laura wanted to go. I'm going to say this now. I might get mad, but I hope they don't bring back Courtney. Yeah, Courtney needs to come back. I mean, they're dimensional. They got a lot of mileage out of her, so I'm just shocked. I'm like, they never talk about Courtney. But it works for story. It works for story. The Metro Court, it has her name in it. It's Spencer's mother. Great, everything. Helena doesn't know that. Oh, no, that'd be so funny. But Helena and Ryan getting together, who knows? Anyway, so I think there's so many different possibilities, right? There's just, but I'm just thinking this week so far, the way they did it, I loved it. And on so many fronts, there's stuff going on. And yes, I'm all for Cassadine antics, Ryan and Kevin antics. I'm like, yeah, the Ice Princess. It was crazy, but it was. We didn't have anything like it back then, and I enjoyed the storyline. I watched like everybody else did, and so maybe maybe there'll be a little updated version. They brought back the procession on Days of Our Lives for 30 years, so I mean, you never know. They're bringing up chemo on General Hospital. I mean, on Young and Restless after 30 years, or 20 years of that. So. They're reaching. That's what soap should be doing. Soap should be actually going into their past to help fuel their present and future. I'm all for that. I think it's just like, why not? Why would it call Spinelli? That's true too. The kids were cussing. Come on, Candace. Don't be that person. Don't be that person. Let's just take what we can get. I don't want to balance a positive moment with a negative. We're good. Right now, we're getting some meaty story, and John Lindstrom is getting the airtime that he deserves, as both Kevin and everything. So let's do this. Yeah, the weather went wacky. That's exactly what it is. I'm just happy Elizabeth got a storyline. That's where I'm going. Elizabeth has a storyline right now, and Becky Hurst, and she pushed away Finn a little bit, yesterday, but which I'm not feeling them anyway, so I don't care about them. But I'm liking it. They had Betsy last week. Love it. I love all that and everything. Yeah, and yes, Nicholas Alexander Chavez is killing it as Spencer. He is good. I know it's be sad to see Cindy Michaela go as Trina. I know it's sad. I gotta say, I love the new Jordan already. I love her. I don't even know what's about her or anything, and she's already. I like her. I like her so far, and that's funny. I didn't like Brown Nicole Henry when she first came on, so I actually like. I really do like. I like this. I like it. But yeah, John deserves storyline. Yeah, we don't know the twist. We don't know the twist on Bold that's coming up. I hope it's good. I hope it's something. Days delivered for me with their twist of the time jump. They did deliver. So I'm praying, Bold. I'm going to leave it in your hands, arms wide open, because I matter. And please, make it good. Yes, we'll see if the new Trina has chemistry or not. She's pretty in pictures I saw. So the beautiful black woman coming in and play the role. So I hope that I hope they have chemistry. Chemistry can be made. It's natural. So we'll see what happens. Sometimes it's gonna be, we have to get over the fact that Sydney is gone, physically gone. Sometimes it takes a little longer to see it. Even for me, I'll be like, oh, okay, well, But I like New Jordan. I do so far. I'm like, okay. When she warned Sonny, she's getting in the mix. I was like, okay, We're gonna work it out. But I'll tell you, Avery Paul, that's her name, who plays Esme, is doing a phenomenal job being creepy. I'm sure, like my girl Chloe Lanier, who played Nell. Chloe is so not Nell. Trust me. I know her. I know her personally. I know her off camera. We're friends. She is completely not Nell. Not at all. She's like somebody totally different. And that just shows what a great actress, Emmy-winning actress she is. I'm so happy the year she went, I was there. But I'm not going to talk about the rest of the storylines because I have a show on Sundays called the General Hospital Mini Spotlight and Recap every Sunday at 1 p.m. with Frank. So I'm going to talk about the rest of the storylines. But I just want to come on for a little bit and talk about this storyline. Ryan Lecter. That's cute, Robbie. I like that. Yeah, Vanessa Antoine starring in her own show. So it's like, star my own show in Canada, prime time, or come back to General Hospital. Obviously, that's what's going on. You thought New Jordan and Sonny were flirting each other? Hey, that'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Sonny with a black woman? Why not? Give it to him. I'm sure. Yeah, I know the actor wouldn't care. I know he wouldn't care. He'd do it. Jordan is tall, isn't she? I was like, she is tall. Like, I don't remember Jordan's being that tall. But yeah, Vanessa Antoine is a friend of mine who's starring in Dinkstown in Canada. She's having success over there. So right now, she's busy. She is busy. But yeah, this dude Jordan. Yeah, I know you guys. You didn't get it. I just said I had technical difficulties. I couldn't get online. And so it's really funny. So folks who missed it. I put out an audio message to the audio listeners because they can't see anything. I just told them why I couldn't do it. My power was spotty all morning. We barely got through Bold and Beautiful, barely got through Y&R. They almost didn't happen. And then I just went out. So it did open up for me to have a reunion with my old co-host from the Days Are Our Lives days, edition days. So things happen in mysterious ways. Sorry for you guys out there, of course, who didn't get the show we always get every week. But it did, for a personal thing for me, personal professional reasons, it turned out to be a really wonderful afternoon, evening for me. Got to meet some fans of mine from Queers and Soaps and everything. So it turned out to be way different than I thought it was going to be that day. So I'm not talking about last week. Sorry. I'm not talking about with Frank. This Sunday, we're going to mention last week and this week together. We're going to mention both. Because I took notes, kids. Let me show you my notes. Where are my notes? Where are my notes? Well, I have notes somewhere. I took notes. So I took all those notes for a reason. We're going to talk about we're going to talk about that for sure. I got notes for that. We're going to talk about it. But no, I'm going to save that with my partner in crime and all things Port Charles, Frank Moran. So that's what's going to happen. So yes, it happened at the last minute. I can do about it. I'm powerless to you. I'm many things. I am magical and mystical in my being, but I'm powerless to internet. Can't do anything. I can't do anything about that. So that was my power's out the rest of the day. So I couldn't do anything about that. I actually keep my refrigerator closed, so my food didn't go bad. Luckily, I have a big freezer, and I kept that closed. The power came on at that night, so it was too late. And it just didn't feel like doing it on a Monday, just after all that. Okay, somebody wrote a weird comment on. Okay, I don't know what that means. Anyway, so yes. Anyway, so that's all I want to do is I want to come on. 33 people are watching. Oh my goodness, it's like a regular show. It was crazy, you guys. You guys have made this show a huge hit. I'm just completely flabbergasted. So I want to mention a couple of things while I'm here. So I always promote stuff. I have a new series called Jet Boy. It's really fun. It's really quick. Stars Drew Hess, who actually is a teenager. It's based on the Airboy series that was the comics back in the 40s, some in the 80s. It's an unofficial sequel. It's an audio drama. It's already doing very well on its first day premiere. The numbers are wonderful. So check that out wherever you get audio dramas and podcasts. So just check that out wherever you can. It's called Jet Boy. It's everywhere. I put out my second trailer for my new series. What? It's a fun. People like the trailer so far. It's a fun trailer. You can see it. I post it everywhere. It's on my YouTube channel. Check that out also. There will be a new GH30 Deeds. And you'll see that coming out soon. GH Spotlight to the GH stuff. There also will be I'm doing a new Dicey to the Colbys episode, a new Knots Landing episode. So I got all your soap after shows. I'm doing them tonight. Book of Boba Fett. We're doing a pre-Book of Boba Fett show tonight, 8:00 live. So that's all kind of going on. JLJ meeting, all kinds of stuff going on, but that's the latest. I saw trailer. So yes, we had out. But I had to come on to Ryan and Esme. To me, that's the most excited I've been in a long time, because it's going to be good. Like Candace said, let's hope that they really do follow through and give us a really meaty, juicy, complicated, crazy storyline. That's what I want. That's what I want. I want Umbrella. I want everybody involved. It was fun having Maxie and Britt and Victor and Sam and Dante do this whole thing with the tarot card. I loved all of it. To go who. I actually have a series that is The Pill, which has the subtitles Who, What, Where, Why, When. It's my book series on Amazon. Right, you promote everything. What is going to be I've already recorded 9 episodes of it, so what should be very interesting. It stars me. I don't star in anything. I don't write stuff for myself, but I show myself. I have very interesting actors playing opposite me, and it's going to be very interesting. And I just started production on The Email season 2, our hit audio comedy, and Candace Mack will be featured. She recorded an episode with us and will be featured in a couple episodes of season 2. So Candace Mack plays a funny character, so that's really good. So that's coming up too. But yes, we are working it out. I also want to give a shout out because I love Dolly Parton and I like some James Patterson stuff. They have a new book out called Run Rosie Run or whatever, and I want to get, and actually has a companion album. I want to get and see. They wrote a book together. James Patterson just writes all these books, people. And I'm very curious to see what the book's called, what the book's like. So I'm just want to give a shout out to James Patterson and all that. I got new books coming out too. But yes, it's we'll see, right? We'll see if Ava goes to the dark side, if Ava pulls out her Jerome side. What's really great about this storyline, just think about it, just these 2 characters alone, Ryan and Esme alone, affect so much stuff. They're planted all over the place. They really are planted. They affect so much stuff. It really does. It affects so much stuff. So they can really go anywhere. And I am very curious if this vow renewal thing actually happens. And I'm also enjoying that Victor is still trying to include Sam, Alexis, and the girls. They are Cassadines too, kids. I like that he's trying to collect them. But now with Joss and Cam, the sex stars now, I wonder how that's going to all work together, because they all now see who she is. So that's going to be very interesting. So yes, very, very interesting. Thank you, everybody, for coming on today. I appreciate this. I do. I have dinner to make. I usually come on this late. I have some chicken to make, which I'm going to do right now in my air fryer. It's going to be good. Because I have a show at 8:00. So I got to go and do this right now with Live with Chance. You guys are wonderful. Thanks for coming on. Share this with everybody you know. Daytime Today, your source for a soap chat in the